Hello and happy Sunday, folks. We are here in the Bay State, Boston, Massachusetts, home of the Boston Yachts. So we have another all-American matchup as the Minnesota Norse stroll into town looking to take down the Yachts here at home. Warm-ups are complete. Ice has been resurfaced. And Anderson against Cody in the dot. We are ready to go here from Boston. Face-off won by Minnesota. Konstantinov will flip it on in. Look to get the back check going, or the forecheck going, excuse me. Anderson brings it across the red line. He'll be hit there by Nikola. King able to skate free. Jackson King tries to get to the front of the net. And Konstantinov with a good strip of the puck. Cody now with Bure. Tries to flip it to the middle and it's intercepted. Boston with a 3-on-2 here. Anderson down low to Stevens. It squeaks through. Oh, they're going to wave the goal off though. Looked like it might have been kicked. Yeah, that does look like it's kicked off of the foot of Stevens. See if there's a review here or not. And the review is no goal. So the review is upheld, no goal. Blase Matejka, the goaltender in for Minnesota, and it'll be Radia Bedesiani at the other end, backstopping the Boston Yachts here. McNaughton for Minnesota across the line. McNaughton carries to the corner. In front, Nikola. Oh, and it's blockered away by Bedesiani. Goes high off the glass and will remain in play. Braun up to Anderson. Anderson bumped by McNaughton. Keeps control of the puck. Now it's free. McNaughton able to pick it up. He'll get it to Nikola. Nikola over to the near boards of Tuominen. Right to the shoulder of a Bedesiani. It looked like he's about to play and he'll just bring the puck down and hold there. Face off now coming to the left of a Bedesiani. Schwatal against Rain. Second line's out here. Rain wins it back. Nikola with a slap shot that's blocked away. Schwatal with it. He'll flip it up to Backlov. Sasha Backlov across the blue line. Knocked away there at the red line. Chris Rain with it. He'll look to enter the zone. He will. He'll continue to skate to the corner. Able to come free. And now O'Shea will meet him behind the net. In front. Tuominen stopped there by Bedesiani. Face off between Schwatal and Kovac. Schwatal able to win it back. Puck will get knocked free, come on net to a Bedesiani, and he'll keep that puck moving. Good forecheck, poke there by Langenberg, keeps the puck in the zone. Kovachenko, Langenberg, stop there. Kovachenko scores! So a great forecheck by the Norse. Ends up with the opportunity. Langenberg puts the shot on net, goes off the pad, and Nershan Kovachenko able to knock that one past Radia Bedesiani. Face-off won by Minnesota will be flipped in. First one on it is Vinogradov. He'll come free with Antonison. Antonison to the red line to Schwatal. Schwatal across the line. Christensen in. Stopped there by Matejka, and he'll hold right there. Face-off now coming to the right of Matejka. Face-off won by Boston. Vinogradov had a little bit of room, but can't get the shot away, and it'll be taken away by Minnesota. Bure with Albrechtsen and Cody in tow. And a Bedesiani able to glove that one, and it'll hold right there. Kovachenko with his second goal. As we hit about the quarter mark of the season here. Cody against Cherry now in the dot. Top line against third line. Antonison for Boston will get it away to Adolfsson. Ingolf Adolfsson hit to the boards there. It'll be Bronislav Bure. Bure over to Konstantinov. Konstantinov across the red line up to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen in. Cody with a one-timer, and it's stopped there by Bedesiani. So Minnesota leading the action here through the first 5 minutes of this game, including the lone goal on the board by Nershan Kovachenko. That third line for Minnesota doing the work. Chris Rain with the second line for Minnesota out there. It'll be Bo Gron with it. He'll retreat, get it up to Tipton. Fourth line out for Boston. Chris Rain gets that takeaway. He'll enter the zone, go to the corner, look in front, and it's stopped there. A glove stopped by a Bedesiani as McNaughton was able to get a stick on that out in front. Face off coming here. Abraham against Rain. Minnesota leading the shots 9-1. To this point, Rain wins it back. Sikora gets blocked out in front, doesn't get on net. Loose puck. Bedissiani will jump on that and get the stoppage. So not as free action as we usually see in a first period. A lot of that, Bedissiani trying to allow his team to get some momentum off the face-off draw, and they just have not been able to get where they need to, but now they're able to clear it, and it'll be Vlatko Petric. Petric over to Abraham, stop there, and they score! Easy tap in for Vlatko Petric. As Abraham puts it on net, Matejka makes that save, but leaves the rebound there, and Vlatko Petric for Boston gets them right back in, and we are all square at 1. Backlov will get it poked away for a sec. Now he'll get it up to Abraham. Second line out here still. Excuse me, fourth line and second line for Minnesota. Backlov will take that puck away, get it over to Bo Graun. Graun across the red line. Continues. Enters the zone. Fed over to Backlov. Oh, and a glove stopped there by Matejka. Face off here, Anderson able to win it away for Boston. King with it at the dot. He'll decide to flip it back to Backlov to Graun. They'll walk the blue line together. One-timer, they score! So Boston, just like that. A one-timer by Jackson King in that high slot area. Set up by Calvin Anderson. So in short order, the Yachts here at home find themselves ahead 2-1 on the visiting Norse. Minnesota going to see if they can get something rolling here. Bo Graun will carry it for Boston. He'll get it up to Stevens. Out of the zone. Now Jackson King. Across the blue line. Tipped away by Bjornsson. Sikora gets it up to Milos Kovac. Kovac will turn. Get it up to Bjornsson. To Kovachenko. Kovachenko to Kovac. And another glove stop by Bedissiani. It's seeming Minnesota, their early game plan was to attack the glove hand of Bedissiani. He's been up to the task on just about everything to that glove side. The one goal actually did go to his blocker side, which gave up the rebound. So Minnesota maybe a change of game plan after about 10 minutes of game, or 9 minutes almost of gameplay. See if they can make that change. Start attacking that blocker side rather than the glove. But Bedissiani stopped there by Matejka. Another stop, and it'll go through the crease. Kovachenko with the lone goal for Minnesota. He'll turn it over. Christensen right into the shoulder of Matejka, and he'll hold right there. Good save there by Blase Matejka. Face-off coming here. It'll be Cody against Fatal. See if that top line for Minnesota can get something going. Vinogradov shot gets blocked in front. Cody looking to skate away. He'll kick it up the boards. It'll be Nikola. Nikola over to Konstantinov. Konstantinov to the red line, up to Burry. Burry with speed, trying to get around the defense. Again, they shoot right at the glove of Bedissiani, and he's able to come up with the save there. Cody now here against Cherry as we approach the halfway point of this first period. Cherry able to win it back. Vinogradov up to Adolfsson. Adolfsson stops just outside his blue line and reverses track to Vinogradov. Vinogradov watched by Burry. Cherry then will turn it over. Albrechtsen, he's got a step. Albrechtsen in alone. Oh, and they go to that glove side again, and Albrechtsen thought he had Bedissiani beat, but he's stoned there. Ronnie Bedissiani with a great start to the game here. Brandon Jordan for Boston now will get it out of the zone. Cherry turns back into his own zone, almost turns it over. Still will be pestered there by a couple of Norse. Cody and Burry pestering him there. Adolfsson across the line. He'll continue to carry down the boards. In front. Stopped there by Matejka. Cherry with a good opportunity in front. Backlov keeps it in at the blue line. Goes to Graun, to Jordan. Cross ice, stop there. And they score again. This will be Ingolf Adolfsson that's able to sneak it by Blase Matejka this time. Ingolf Adolfsson set up on the rebound from the Brandon Jordan shot. So another rebound given up by Matejka. We're seeing that's the key right now, and that's where Bedissiani has been better to this point, not giving up rebounds. And I would say most of that is because they keep going glove side on him. you're not going to get many rebounds firing at that glove. Maybe start to go shoot a little lower, see if you can hit it off the pads and free something up. King with a goal earlier in the game. Goes against Konstantinov. He gets bumped off the puck. Konstantinov will feed it up ice, get it out of the zone. Braun hit hard there by McNaughton. Stevens over to King. King bumped off the puck. Anderson stopped there by Matejka. And it'll be Rain away. Tuominen now. Vari Tuominen will enter the zone. Get it to Rain. Again, a shot at the glove there. And a Bedesiani. I hate to be a broken record, folks. That's not my job, but you got to learn eventually. Don't shoot at the glove of Ronnie Bedesiani, because right now it is not working for Minnesota. Kovac will go against Svital. Svital able to win it back for Boston. Svital with it. He'll feed it up to O'Shea. Nick O'Shea across the red line. Flips it in deep. First one on, it'll be Martin Sikora. He'll kick it up the boards. Puck will come to Langenberg. He'll reverse it back to Sikora. Sikora will go back in the zone. Kovac gets it cross ice to Kovachenko. Nurse on Kovachenko. Feeds it up. It's Loki Langenberg. Over to Sikora. Stop there. They go blocker side, and a good stop there by Bedesiani, but it leaves a rebound, and they're unable to hammer home that rebound on a Bedesiani. Bedesiani playing well here through the first 15 minutes. Martin Sikora feeds it up ice to Kovac. Bjornsson will have to retreat, and now Kovachenko will enter for Minnesota. He's in alone, though, so turns it over there to Kolar with a good stick. O'Shea over to Svital. Just goes wide. Had Matejka beat, but it goes wide. Then Christensen stopped there by Matejka. Ricky Ramsey, fourth line now out for Minnesota. Puck is loose in front. See if Gabriel Cesaro can get something going here. He's had 4 goals in the last 2 games for Minnesota. Before that, he had 0 goals the entire season. Turnover there. Abraham in the neutral zone tries to turn. He'll be pressed to the benches there. Sikora tries to feed it to the middle. Bad pass. Petya Gavrilchuk now brings it in across the line. He'll go to the boards, wait for reinforcements, feeds it down to Cesaro. Cesaro tries to turn to the middle, and he'll turn it over. Cesaro back with it. Gavrilchuk scores! So it'll be Petya Gavrilchuk. Set up by Gabriel Cesaro, and Avari Tuominen going to get an assist on the play as well. So it looks like we are in for a scoring duel here as we sit 3-2, still with time remaining on the clock here in the first period. Puck is loose there along the Boston bench, and Bogran will skate onto it. He'll flip it in deep. Petrik, with it behind the net. Goes to Abraham in front to Tipton. Backhand stop, and Matejka knocks it in himself. Oh my goodness. So Tipton fired it on net. It hopped up in the air, and Matejka, trying to keep it out of the net, bats it in himself. So Barry Tipton, just seconds after Minnesota had made it a 1-goal game, gives Boston their 2-goal lead right back. Turnover there. It'll be Avari Tuominen. Tuominen looking for an angle. Gets it to Konstantinov. Can't get the shot through. Rain will watch Gron there. It'll be Stevens. Boston coming off one of their more impressive wins on this early season, knocking off Chicago at home just a few nights ago. Seeing if they can do the same to another America Division foe in the playoff mix. McNaughton will retreat in his own zone. He'll flip it cross ice to Konstantinov. Konstantinov across the red line into the zone. Over to Rain. Shot gets blocked away. Nikola will pick it up. And Nikola can't get a shot away. He'll get it back to Tuominen to Konstantinov. One-timer, it's denied there. McNaughton with a good opportunity. 5 seconds left here in the period. Boston leading 4-2. Shot goes wide. Konstantinov with a good block. They'll battle there, and that'll do it. The horn will sound, and that'll do it for the first period here from Boston. So we have a scorers clinic going on here. So we sit with a 4-2 game. Boston leading Minnesota at the end of the first 20 minutes. We're going to take our first intermission. Be back with you for the start of the second period from Boston Municipal Arena. All right, folks, I am Les Talk back with you here at Boston Municipal Arena as we get ready for the middle frame here. Boston entering the period leading 4-2 on the Norse here at home. Anderson wins it back. It'll be up to Stevens now. Stevens will glide to the corner, gets to the front of the net, tries to feed it through, and it's blocked. Will come on net to Matejka, and he will stop there. Both teams, a lot of shots on net in that first period. One of the higher shot totals I've seen through a first period. We now sit at 17-15 in favor of Minnesota, but a 17-14 for shots in a period. That's a pretty high amount. We've seen a lot of games be 8-7 after the first period or something of that nature, but for both teams to be in the double digits, quite a number so far early. Anderson tries to feed it down low, and Nikola will pick that one up. Nikola gets it wide to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen will now cut to the middle. No one's stopping him yet. Albrechtsen on net, and it's under the pads of Abedisiani, and he'll hold right there. Face off now. Here it'll be Cody against Fatal. Face off will be won by Fatal to Gron. We'll get it up to Christensen. Boston looking to go on the attack in the neutral zone. It'll be bumped away. Cody with it now. Feeds it up to Burry. Bronislav Burry trying to attack with speed, and Bo Gron with good physicality is able to dislodge the puck from Bronislav Burry. Fatal over to O'Shea. O'Shea shot. Blockered away by Matejka. Konstantinov will skate onto it for Minnesota. He'll get it out of the zone and now get it up to Cody. Over to Burry. Bronislav Burry back to Konstantinov. Stop there. Konstantinov tries to jam it home again, and Abedisiani able to hold that one and get the save. 17.5 left here in the second period. Boston currently leading 4-2. Boston with a regulation win today would jump into a tie with Chicago for the fourth place spot in the America Division. Minnesota, no matter win, loss, overtime win, overtime loss, they will still stay in second place in the America Division, so they'll stay in a playoff position. Blockered up in the air. It's free. Oh, and it just goes wide. Matejka almost knocked it into his own net again. This time it goes wide of the cage. McNaughton will have the puck knocked out of the zone. First one back on it is Nikola. He'll look to get it up ice. He'll go over to Rain. Chris Rain to Tuominen. Ivari Tuominen gets to Rain. Knocked off the stick there, and now Nikola on it for Minnesota. Tries to feed it down low, and a good stick by Bakalov takes it away. McNaughton able to dig it free. Tuominen down low. Oh, and a big hit by Bo Gron. Chris Rain in the corner. Feeds it back to Sikora. Over to Bjornsson. Bjornsson walks down. Shot gets blocked over the cage. McNaughton battles there with Chris Rain. Now Chris Rain able to get it. Goes back to Sikora at the point. To Bjornsson. Walks down. Shot doesn't get through. Sikora with a chance. He'll shoot, and it'll go wide. Great pressure here from Minnesota, but they need that marker. McNaughton will shoot it, and it'll go wide all the way to the corner. I believe it was blocked in front. Adolfsson finally able to skate it away for Boston. There's a lot of great pressure there, and now Kovac. He decides to flip it in. He had a lane, if I'm not mistaken. McNaughton in front. Kovachenko denied. McNaughton now will feed it up high to Sikora. Back to McNaughton. He's hit as he can't get the shot away. Josiah Stevens now. Stevens gets it bumped off there by Sikora. Kovachenko will be stripped by King. King in. Stop there by Matejka. It's free. And now Kovachenko for Minnesota will be able to get it away. Kovac flips it in high off the glass. Vinogradov will pick it up. King will retreat in his own zone. Loses the puck for a sec, but handles it back in. King across the blue line. Tries to drag it through, and it's poked out of the zone. Kovac watching Antonison. Turns it over. Langenberg in alone, waiting for reinforcements. Flips it back. Cody will have it. And it'll be a penalty here on Boston. They're going to call a trip. It'll be Josiah Stevens guilty of the trip there. Cody now will go up against Abraham. Minnesota trailing by 2. An opportunity here on the power play. Burray denied there, and then Cody with the rebound, unable to get it through. It'll be Burray to Cody. Cody in the high slot, flips it back to Nikola. Shot! Knocked down in front. Cody now with a chance. Going to be another penalty here on Boston. A slash this time. Couldn't see the number on who it was on. It'll be Dale Kolar that's going to head to the box. So he and Stevens will get to know each other for a couple minutes there in the box, as Minnesota will go on a 5-on-3 power play here. Well, it was a trip, my fault. I thought it was a slash on Kolar, but a trip there as he trips up Cody at the side of the net. Anderson against Rain. Rain able to win it back. Konstantinov down low, and they score! So Konstantinov feeds it down to Albrechtsen, and Rain wide open on that back post. Able to just sort of flip it home on the cross crease pass from Albrechtsen. So Rain on the power play. Able to get the marker, and they will continue on the power play. It'll be a man advantage here for Minnesota as they look to tie the game here. Rain to the front, shoots it off the side of the cage. Albrechtsen tries to dig it free. He will. Albrechtsen back to the point to Konstantinov. He'll skate down the boards, get it to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen tries to turn to the middle, unable to. Rain in front, another. He scores again. So Chris Rain with 2 power play goals back to back. This one off a rebound. I don't want to say I'm right, but they started shooting at the pads, and Minnesota getting a lot more opportunities on Ronnie Abedesiani. So Chris Rain with his 2nd power play goal in as many power play shifts for him makes it a tie game here. So we're at about 11.5 left here in the 2nd period. Cesaro to Gavrilchuk. Gavrilchuk with a goal early in the game. Sikora down to Cesaro. Cesaro able to sneak it through. Antonis in there. It'll be dug out by Ramsey. Good pressure here again from Minnesota. Gavrilchuk can't get a shot away, was on his backhand. Puck is loose, and now Boston able to skate away with Christensen. Christensen pressed to the boards there at the penalty box area. Bjornsson going to be bumped there a couple times by Schvital, but able to get it away. Cesaro trying to get out of the zone, hit there by Christensen. He'll flip in deeper, let the forecheck go to work. Sikora tries to kick it up the boards. O'Shea intercepts. Sikora with it. He'll get it up to Bjornsson. Now to Ramsey. Able to get it out of the zone. Ricky Ramsey tries to drag through at the blue line and gets bumped off the puck by Antonison. Josiah Stevens took the penalty moments ago that got the momentum started for Minnesota. Cody will poke it away from Stevens. Deep in the Boston zone now. Antonison with enough room, but he decides to pass it off, and now Vinogradov, he'll turn back into his own zone. Antonison to Anderson. Finally, they'll enter the Minnesota zone. And Anderson, shot goes off the blocker of Matejka and up off the glass. Stevens, glove saved by Matejka, and he'll hold right there. So Stevens with a great opportunity, traveling down that slot area, unable to fit it past. Blase Matejka here has not been tested much here in the 2nd period, if at all. So needs to be on his game, needs to stay focused and engaged in this game. A glove save there by Matejka, and a great windmill stop by the netminder there. Face off now, coming here again. It'll be Cody against Anderson, top line against top line. Anderson will win this one. He'll win it back to Joubert. Joubert turns it over. Albrechtsen now will skate free. He crosses the line, being watched there by Joubert. In front, Burry, stop there. And puck is then sent wide of the net. Albrechtsen in front, stop there by Abedesiani, and he'll hold right there. So much more pressure here from the Norse. They look to take that lead back that they got earlier in the game. It'll be Rain against Cherry here. 2nd line for Minnesota against the 3rd line of Boston. Cherry kicks it back. Joubert will have it. Joubert goes off the boards up to Adolfsson. Adolfsson able to get around Nikola. Now 2-on-1. Shot, stop there. Oh, and they can't get the rebound on net. It'll hop up over the cage, and Nikola will pick it up for Minnesota. Boston with a great opportunity there as Nikola gets beat off the boards by Boston. Kolar with it. He'll get it up to Adolfsson. Adolfsson being watched there by Konstantinov. Konstantinov with a good hit. Nikola and Jordan will battle for it there. They'll continue to fight. Nikola had it for a second. Now he'll lose it to Konstantinov. Up to Tuominen. Tuominen exits the zone. Chris Rain trying to get around Backlov. Backlov with a good shove. Able to dislodge the puck from Chris Rain. Beaugrand bumped there in his own zone, but it comes right to the stick of Brandon Jordan. Brandon Jordan. Cross into the corner, flips it behind the net. It'll come free over to McNaughton. McNaughton up to Nikola. Nikola up to Rain. Rain will retreat in his own zone, get it cross ice to Tuominen. Tuominen loses the puck for a sec in his own zone. Konstantinov picks it up. Tuominen back on it. We approach 5 minutes left here in the 2nd period here from Boston. Rain tried to feed it down low to McNaughton, and it's picked off. Had a great opportunity there if Rain could have fit that pass through. Christensen will lose it to Sikora. Kovachenko with it. Feeds it to Kovac. Milos Kovac continues to skate with it. Has control. Kovachenko pressed to the boards there. Langenberg Kicks it up the boards. Loki Langenberg up high to Nershawn Kovachenko. Puck is lost there, and O'Shea will take it. Nick O'Shea will lose the puck there. Bjornsson flips it back to his teammate Sikora. Sikora out to Langenberg. Langenberg gets the red line and flips in deep. Look to get that forecheck going again for Minnesota. Puck is free, and O'Shea will get it out. Bjornsson the first one on it. He's pressed to the boards there by O'Shea. Kovachenko trying to get it out of the zone, and they will to Langenberg. Langenberg comes in 1-on-3, waiting for reinforcements. Feeds it back to Cody. Over to Sikora with room. Block there. Cody scores on the backhand. So just like that, Minnesota entered the period down 2 goals. Now they find themselves ahead as Seraphin Cody set up on the rebound from the Martin Sikora shot. So Seraphin Cody gets the 5th goal on the board for Minnesota with just 2:40 left here in the second period. Anderson with the takeaway. Anderson, was free for a second in the slot and couldn't get a shot away. Cody will skate behind his own net and look to get it up ice. He'll exit the zone, get it up to Bure. Bronislav Bure flips it in deep. It'll be Vinogradov on it. He'll flip it over to King, to Stevens. Stevens now advancing. It'll go across the blue line, and they're going to say just offside as Anderson entered the zone prior to Stevens. Face-off coming here just outside the Minnesota zone. It'll be Anderson against Cody. Top line versus top line. And Tonison has it at the Boston bench. Now flips it over to Anderson, who will enter. Anderson stays wide. It'll be poked off his stick by Burry for a second, then turned over to Henrik Nikola. Albrechtsen. Just over a minute left here in the second period. And Tonison up to Stevens. Stevens will lose it. Albrechtsen then loses it. Puck is loose there right at the blue line. And it comes into the Boston zone free to Vinogradov. It'll be Anderson who gets it up to King. King being watched by Konstantinov. Poked away there. Puck is still free. King down to Anderson. Anderson up high to Antonison. Puck will go down low to Petrick. To Anderson. Shot gets blocked away in front. Konstantinov stick knocked there. Gavrachuk can't get it out. King. And that'll end the period. So King, if he just had maybe a few more seconds, had an opportunity to maybe bury that one Plasmateka, but he's unable to. So Minnesota entered the period trailing by 2. They now will exit the period and enter the third, leading 5-4 here in Boston. We'll take our second intermission. Be back with you to start the third and final period here from Boston. All right, folks, we are back here at Boston Municipal Arena, ready for the start of the third period, the final 20 minutes from Boston here. As we currently sit, it is 5-4. Minnesota on the strength of goals from Kovachenko, Gavrachuk, 2 power play goals by Chris Rain, and then the current game winner belonging to Seraphin Cody at the moment. Kovachenko, that's his second on the season. Gavrachuk, third. Rain, his second and third, and Cody, his 7th. Puck loose in front. It's to the side of the net. Albrechtsen can't jam it home. Puck is still loose there in the Boston zone. Bure gets his helmet knocked off, so he's got to head back to the bench. Konstantinov with a slap shot, and it'll be knocked down by Bedesiani. The 4 goals for Boston here today. Vladko Petrick with his 4th on the season. Jackson King, his 6th. Ingolf Adolfsson, his 2nd. And then congratulations to Barry Tipton, his first career PIHANA goal, and obviously his first on the season. So congratulations to him. Always a special moment to get that first career professional ice hockey goal. McNaughton tries to feed it through. It'll be knocked off his stick. And who else but Sasha Backlov, that great stick from the defenseman there, able to knock it away. Stevens then gets it poked away in the Minnesota zone. Tumanen will skate with it. He'll look to get it up ice, get it to Konstantinov. Konstantinov across the blue line, being watched there by Baklov. Defenseman on defenseman there. Nikola tries to walk down the boards. He's hit by Christensen. And then Rain with a good hit on Christensen. Schwatal will go cross ice to King. King will retreat, go behind his own net. He'll look to get it up ice. King feeds it to Baklov. Baklov across the line, knocked off his stick for a sec. Baklov in the corner in front, stopped there by Schwatal. The rebound was free to Christensen, but he couldn't get a stick on it as it floats its way to the boards. Trying to get a pass through, and it goes all the way through. Minnesota now with a little bit of pressure. Oh, and it's going to be a penalty here on Boston. So they're going to call a hold on Evzen Schwatal. So the forward there for Boston, down low in the offensive zone, guilty of holding. I didn't see it, but the call came pretty quick after there was that board battle. Schwatal and Tuominen, and they're just going to say he held Tuominen there second too long. They were trying to battle at the boards there. So Minnesota, 2 for 2 on power plays so far today. Seeing if they can get another one here. Chris Rain with the 2 power play goals on the board for Minnesota. Puck is flipped all the way down as Boston gets the initial face-off win. It'll come to Albrechtsen. 4 minutes gone here in the first period. 5-4, Minnesota leads. Rain down low, looking for the hat trick here today. Be the rare power play hat trick. We saw Yevgeny Kovalenko for the Detroit Trappers do that on night 1 of the PIHA, or excuse me, I guess it was night 2 of the PIHANA season. Their first game for the Trappers against the Lakers. Rain now will go up against Adolfson. Rain able to win it back. Kovachenko scores! So Nershawn Kovachenko able to bury his second goal of the game and his first power play goal here. Going to be set up by Chris Rain, who won the face-off there. Kovachenko with his 3rd goal on the season. Came into today with just 1. And will leave today with at least 3. Kolar feeds it up to Anderson. Boston in desperate need of some momentum. And it happens right there. So Jackson King, about that same spot he got the one-timer earlier in the game. He fires this one and is able to beat Blase Mateka. So Jackson King, now his 7th on the season, gets it back to just a 1-goal game. We sit 15-30 left here in the 3rd period from Boston. Nolan Cherry across the blue line, being watched there by Bjornsson, feeds it to Jordan, to Adolfson. Oh, and a stop there by Mateka. Much needed stop. Minnesota now away. Langenberg with a little bit of room. Langenberg stop there, and they score! It'll be Milos Kovac that gets the 7th goal on the board for Minnesota. Milos Kovac. Great setup there by Minnesota. Langenberg with a great opportunity. Enters the zone cleanly. Arn Sikora going to get the assist there with the stretch pass up to Langenberg. So 3 goals in fairly quick succession. Extends this back to a 2-goal lead for Minnesota. With 6 minutes gone here in the 3rd period. Kovac now. Minnesota see if they can be a little defensive here and try to hold things down. That has not been a key of theirs most of the season. We've seen that Edmonton game where they entered the 3rd period leading 5-1 and had to scratch and claw just to keep it a 6-5 win for the Norse on that day. So we'll see what they can do here against Boston. Albrechtsen now across the red line. Oh, he's hit so hard there right at the blue line. Couldn't tell what Boston Yacht that was that hammered him. See if we can get the license plate of that truck that ran him over there. Tipton in front. Already has a goal tonight, looking for his 2nd. Now Tipton back to the front. Feeds it back to Abraham. Blockered away by Mateka. And it'll go to the boards, and it's going to be a penalty here on Bjornsson. Tipton out of the front. Oh, and he shoots it just wide. Abraham on it. Adolfson stopped there. And it'll be touched up by Bjornsson. I believe it is Bjornsson that's going to be guilty of the interference call. It is Thomas Bjornsson. So, yep, just a couple of extra knocks there with the puck not in the vicinity. So Thomas Bjornsson will sit. Boston now with another opportunity to get it back to a 1-goal game, as they did moments ago before giving up the Milos Kovac goal to Minnesota. Minnesota wins the opening draw and gets it clear. Milos Kovac, that is his 2nd goal on the season. Kovachenko flips it just to the corner. Cesaro will battle with it. For it there for Minnesota. It'll come free to Christensen. Christensen up ice to Anderson. Anderson with speed. Flips it over to King on the near boards. King trying to get to the middle, unable to. Goes back out wide. And Nikola with a good intercept there as Anderson had an opportunity at that net front. Right inside the blue paint of Matejka. Cesaro with the takeaway. Trying to feed it out front to Kovachenko. Can't make that. Now Kovachenko will get back on it. He'll flip it. King will intercept. Stevens with 50 seconds left here remaining on the power play. King tries to cut across. Stevens now. Glove stopped by Matejka. And he'll hold right there. Kovac now against Vital here in the dot. Boston looking to get this back to a 1-goal game. 10:40 left here in the third. Christensen with it at the line. He'll try to walk down. It'll get knocked off his stick. Vital will lose it. It'll be Avari Tuominen trying to clear. They'll continue to battle there. O'Shea. Shot doesn't get through. Cherry back to the point to Christensen. Deflection just goes wide. It's Vital to O'Shea. Back down to Christensen. Shot gets blocked and Albertson can't quite clear. Or excuse me, Ramakers can't quite clear and now he will. As we approach the halfway point of this third period and the power play comes to an end. So Minnesota able to stand tall in that scenario, keep it a 2-goal game. 7-5 lead for Minnesota, 9.5 left here in the third. Kovac with the most recent Minnesota goal will flip it down. O'Shea will intercept. Vital over to Christensen. Christensen gets it to Vinogradov. Vinogradov bumped there at the line. Bronislav Bure will skate away. He'll skate to this corner. Trying to just keep the puck away from Boston right now. Sikora trying to get it out. Kovac pressed to the boards. A couple of Norse will fight for it there, and Sikora able to get it cross ice and out. So it'll be Bure on it after a loose puck there at center ice. Sikora tries to flip it up, and Tipton will take it away. Peter Ramakers on it. Ramakers will lose it. Tipton to Abraham, can't get a shot away. Ramakers will scoop that one up and go the other way. The defenseman leading the rush. Ramakers in. Feeds it over to Albertson. Oh, and he clangs it off the iron. So good patience there from Peter Ramakers. Trying to set that up, and Albertson, normally solid goal scorer, can't tuck that one away. Pass Ronnie Abedisiani. Over to Christensen. Shot gets blocked in front. It'll come on net to Matejka, and he'll hold right there with 7:06 left here in the third. Albertson there with 10 goals on the early season here, and he was that close to number 11, but unable to tuck it away for the Norse. Top line out here for Boston. They'll face the second line in Rain. Able to win the draw for Minnesota. McNaughton trying to cut across, and he's bumped off the puck. And then McNaughton's going to be guilty of a trip. So Boston with a golden opportunity here to go back on the power play. Konstantinov will touch that one up. 6:29 left here in the third. And a tripping call going against Jace McNaughton. So he'll take a seat. Easy trip call there on Beaugrand. Minnesota has so far been perfect on the power play, or excuse me, on the penalty kill. Joubert back to Jordan. Brandon Jordan trying to walk down. It'll be knocked off his stick. Henrik Nikola able to flip it out. O'Shea will retreat in his own zone. Get it up to Joubert. Over to Cherry. Roland Cherry to Esmond Schwital. Schwital pressed to the boards there by Nikola. Out front to O'Shea. And a stop there by Matejka right at the top of his crease. 5:54 left here in the third. Boston leading the way in hits with 31 so far on the evening here. As Schwital against Petya Gavrilchuk. Gavrilchuk wins it back to Nikola, and Nikola will get it all the way out. High flip. Touches down in the Boston end. Jordan. The little sauce pass to O'Shea, and Schwital. He'll be tripped up, so Matty Albertson will go. So a 5-on-3 opportunity for Boston. We saw this in the second period. Minnesota gifted a 5-on-3 and scored 2 goals, bang, bang, both by Chris Rain to get it back to an even game. Boston now with that opportunity as Albertson easily guilty of the trip there. It'll be Anderson against Gavrilchuk. They'll have a minute 7 of 5-on-3 play here. Will the Yachts. One back to Vinogradov. Tries to flip it down low, and Gavrilchuk picks that one off. and gets it out of the zone. Vinogradov looking to skate up for Boston. He'll get it up to Anderson, over to Stevens. Josiah Stevens over to Anderson. Shot blockered away. He's loose in front for a sec. Stevens scores! It'll be Josiah Stevens on the goal. Actually gets the stick knocked out of his hands on the hit afterwards. It'll be unassisted on the play. So Josiah Stevens makes this a 1-goal game. And Boston with another minute 36 left on the power play. Christensen over to Stevens. He'll be bumped off there by Konstantinov. Ramaker is able to get it out. Kill off another 10 to 15 seconds of this power play clock. Christensen pressed to the boards by Konstantinov, able to get away. King now leading the rush. King in. He'll score! So just like that, Jackson King with the hat trick here. As we see the fish hit the ice here tonight. What a sight to see. I hope those aren't real, because that's quite the smell if those are some real fish out on the ice. Either way, Jackson King buries his 3rd of the game and his 8th of the season on the power play here. And just like that, we are knotted up at 7. It's going to take 8 to win this game tonight. Boston will flip it in. First one back there is O'Shea. Minnesota looked to be in control, and 2 undisciplined penalties. We've seen that from Minnesota a couple times this year, where they just take undisciplined penalties, penalties that don't need to happen, and it leads to some difficulty there. Albrechtsen with a good one-timer in front, and it's stopped by Bedesiani. So 3.5 left. Boston with an amazing quick comeback to get things knotted up here at 7. That means we'll be close to the record for most goals in a PIHANA game. It was Boston again against Ottawa in a 10-6 game. For you math or non-math people at home, that would be 16. 7 plus 7 here tonight, that would be 14. And according to my math, yep, that's 2 more. 16 is 2 more than 14. So, in case you were wondering, yes, that is the current record is 16 goals in a game by 2 teams. Right now we are sitting at 14. Bure! Oh, I thought that was in. It just goes wide. Looked like he had a Bedesiani beat. As we sit 2:40 left. Stevens and across the zone. Stevens, he'll score! Josiah Stevens buries that one past Blase Mateka. Again, that top line. Like, it's amazing that Boston even has any other lines, honestly, because King, Anderson, and Stevens do darn near everything for the Yachts here. They now have an 8-7 lead on the strength of that top line. Penalty now here, though, against Boston. Going to be a trip, and it's Calvin Anderson, so that top line now doing them dirty a little bit. And now if Minnesota is able to get a power play goal, that means we would be guaranteed to, well, I guess not technically, because it could be a shootout, which wouldn't then break the record. Either way, a goal here would tie the record, and we would have a chance, I should say, to break the record. So 8-7 here. Minnesota now finds themselves trailing the Yachts here. Face-off one, Nikola, shot gets blocked in front. Adolfsson will take it away. Flipped all the way down. Konstantinov, the first one on it. He'll skate up. Get it to Albrechtsen on the near boards. Albrechtsen watched by Backlov, able to get around Backlov. Rain back to Konstantinov. Blocked in front. Rain! Oh, looking for that hat trick there. And a Bedesiani able to gobble that one up. Cody now here against Abraham. Tie up there, and it'll come free to McNaughton. To Nikola. Over to Konstantinov to Bure. Bure will walk down. Gets it to McNaughton. Can't get a shot away. Nikola defeated down to Bure. Bure cross ice to McNaughton. Can't get a shot away. McNaughton on his back in there. He scores! So it is Jace McNaughton on the power play. Holy Toledo, folks. This is incredible. So we sit now 8-8. Face-off now coming here back at center ice. So it's going to take 9 to win this game here tonight. Cody with a chance. Stop. Oh, and I thought he got the rebound there. Puck is loose behind the net. Still loose. Vinogradov able to get it for Boston. We are now under a minute. Vital turns it over at center ice. Bure looking to go on the attack. Bronislav Bure stops, feeds it back to Sikora. Martin Sikora doesn't get the shot through. Christensen feeds it up to Vital. 40 seconds left here. Vital pressed to the boards. Going to be a penalty here on Boston. Albrechtsen now across the line. Albrechtsen stops up. Can't get the pass through to Bure. So we will have a trip here on Isaac Christensen. So if Minnesota is unable to score here in the final 42 seconds, that means they will have a 4-on-3 to start overtime for, if my math's correct, 1 minute and 18 seconds. But Minnesota currently 100%. They are perfect on the power play here today. So you have to feel good about their chances of being able to end this game here. Tie up there at the center dot. And Rain in front, he scores! So a hat trick for Chris Rain on the power play. All three of them tonight for Chris Rain. Come on the power play. And with now 31 seconds left, the Norse lead again, 9-8, so a new record. 17 goals in a game, 9-8, the score here. Braun going to kick it up the boards. It'll be Anderson with it. Anderson turns back. Puck is still loose. Continues. And now Abedisiani left the net, but now he retreats back with just 10 seconds left. Boston needing one last rush. Abedisiani, there he goes. Anderson across. Anderson, shot blocked away in front. McNaughton to Bjornsson. They just need to clear. They will. And that's going to do it. So Minnesota comes into Boston, gives up 8, which you would think, oh, then Minnesota got destroyed. No, they scored 9 themselves. So 17 total goals on the game. Blase Matejka gives up 8 and gets the win. What a crazy sentence that is. As the Minnesota Norse come into Boston and get a 9-8 victory over the Yachts here tonight. Go ahead and enjoy these highlights. We'll be right back with you for our post-game stats and information to finish this game out here from Boston. Hello, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Les Talk with you here from Boston, Massachusetts, ready to do our post-game coverage of the most goals combined scored in a PIHANA game, a 9-8 win for the Minnesota Norse over the Boston Yachts here. Take a look at the shots here, 44-36 in favor of Minnesota, so nearly almost both teams eclipsed that 40 shot mark. Combined, that's over 90 shots. No, it's not. It's over 80 shots, I should say, not 90. I think that's... that is 80. Yeah, it's exactly 80. I was thinking it was 38 for Boston, but it was just 36. Anyway, hits 23 for Minnesota, 34 for Boston. Face-offs in favor of Boston. And then that power play, Minnesota goes 5 for 5 on the power play. Boston, very good themselves, goes 2 of 3 on the power play. And amazingly, in all that 9-8 madness, we had no shorthanded goals tonight. Yeah, we're not going to be able to show all the goals here tonight because that would just take way too long. The winners on the scoreboard, the Minnesota Norse. Take a peek at some of their stats. 2 4-pointers. Chris Rain with the hat trick here tonight, all coming on the power play. And 1 assist. Loki Langenberg with 4 assists. 2-point getters, we got Sikora and Albrechtsen with 2 assists. And then Nershan Kovachenko with 2 goals. And then our single pointers, and that's going to take up a lot of space there. Our non-point getters, we'll just start there. Dalton, Ramsey, Ramakers, and Bjornsson. Those are our non-point getters. And then our single pointers, let's see, assists. We have Nikola, Konstantinov, Bure, Cesaro, and Tumanen. And then our goals go to Kovac, Cody, McNaughton, and Gavrilchuk. We take a look at some of the plus and minuses. Jason Dalton did not get in the game today. Gavrilchuk, Cesaro with another plus on the board today. -2s, surprisingly, Chris Rain with 3 goals gets a -2, but that's because all 3 of his goals come on the power play. Shots, Chris Rain and Matty Albrechtsen lead the way with 7. Bronislav Bure with 6 and Jason McNaughton with 5. Only 5 players for the Norse did not get a shot on net today. Even Martin Sikora with 1 there up at the top. our 4 non-point getters, and then Gabriel Cesaro without a shot here. Hits, see Konstantinov with 7. Let's see, Nikola with 5, and those are going to be the 2 main. 3 for Sakura, and then nobody else really coming close. Couple for Tuominen and Bjornsson as well. And the goaltending, woof, might be the only way to, explain how the goaltending went tonight. 36 shots is what Blase Matejka faced, and he saved 28 of them for a 7.78 save percentage. Not good, but I guess when you talk about it, he still got the win here today. That's the important bit for Blase Matejka. Now we head to the Yachts, who still great offensive performance, but unable to come away with the win here today. As just looking at it, Bogran and Sasha Baklov with a +5 on the scoreboard today. That top line combines for 7 points, 3 from King, 2 from Anderson, 2 from Stevens. So King with a hat trick here today, no assists. Anderson 2 assists, no goals, and Stevens 2 goals, no assists. Bogran also comes in with 2 assists, as does Danny Abraham, and Vladko Petrik with a goal and an assist himself. And then our single point getters, we have Baklov with an assist, along with Christensen, Kolar, and Jordan, and then Adolfsson and Tipton with goals here tonight. Vinogradov and Antonison without a point, and they come in with a -3. That second D pair, not great. O'Shea, a -2 and no points. Vital, the same. And then Nolan Cherry and Johan Joubert without a point as well here tonight. So again, a +5 from that top line D-core, and then the top forward line, King, Anderson, and Stevens come away with a +3 as well. Vladko Petrik a +2, and Danny Abraham chips in a +1 as well with Barry Tipton. Yep, and that's Isaac Christensen with a -3, so not a great game for him tonight. Take a look at the shots. Stevens with 5, King with 4, Adolfsson also comes in with 4, and so does Nick O'Shea. Hits leaders, I see Christensen with 7, Baklov with 3, Bogran with 9. Great performance hit-wise from him. And, sorry, lagged on me there for a sec. Vinogradov with 4, and Olav Antonison with 3 as well. And then, back to the goaltending. Ronnie Abedisiani faces 44 shots, only comes up with 35 saves for a 7.95 save percentage, giving up the 9 goals here tonight. So now, I don't know how the heck I'm going to be able to do this. Let's take a peek at the goals. Start with the first period. Let's show the King, the one-timer by King. Oh, they're not going to let me up. I should have known. Second period, not even going to let me show the second period. Third period, okay, we can show some of those goals. Let's show, we'll do that last. The Jackson King one-timer here. Very similar to the one he scored in the first period. Brought up along the boards. King there just with a one-timer. Fires it right over the glove. I believe that's Anderson carrying. Flips it back and just a one-timer right over the glove of Matejka. Nersan Kovachenko off a face-off win here. Comes right back. Has it on his stick for maybe a second, then just snaps it over the blocker of Ronnie Abedisiani. Milos Kovac with an opportunity here on the rebound. Able to power it through Ronnie Abedisiani there. And Stevens, the goal that I thought might have just won it for the Yachts here. Able to sneak in, gets the takeaway, and then fires it far post. And then Jace McNaughton on the power play is on the backhand for a sec, but actually is able to flip it back over to his forehand and flip it over the shoulder of Ronnie Abedisiani. And then the game winner tonight, Chris Rain. Puck loose there. Off the draw, just sort of comes on net to Abedisiani, and Rain, just with one little poke, slides it through Ronnie Abedisiani to get his hat trick, the power play hat trick tonight here. So you'll see it here, just sort of snuck right under Abedisiani, not level to the ice there. He kind of has that pad lifted up a little bit. Probably expecting to have to move or maybe to shift in net, but didn't have to, and it was snuck by Chris Rain there. So that's going to do it for our exciting, breathtaking game here from Boston as the Minnesota Norse come away with a 9-8 victory over the Boston Yachts. That's going to do it for our Sunday action. Monday night, we have 3 games coming up tomorrow. The first game will be the Edmonton Dinos in Detroit to take on the Trappers. Second game will be the New York Empire at the Ottawa Mounties, and then our nightcap. Feels like these teams have played, this will be, I think, their 4th game in this first month here. The Montreal Mammoths will be in Calgary to take on the Calgary Stallions, another top matchup in that Canada division. So, thank you so much for joining us here, folks. I am Let's Talk. It's been a joy to be with you here from Boston. We will see you for another triple header of PIHANA hockey tomorrow night.